The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 316 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. I'm going to call this one Wake Up for very obvious reasons, as some folks in our club seem to be slumbering at the moment, as our team needs as much effort as possible and focus, let's be honest. So we're going to cover it today. We're going to talk about the terrible match we just went through and the challenge ahead to actually get back in shape and get ready for, well, let's be honest, the playoffs. So here we go. Of course, can't get it going without our crew. We've got Araceli, we've got Bam, and we've got Tony in the mix. I'll mix it up today and go, Tony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. Excited for this weekend, I guess. I don't know. Derby matches are never easy, and kind of the lead up to it is always very annoying, is the best way to say it. But excited. Hopefully we can get back into form and in shape, because last performance I have a lot of words to say.
Yeah, it's hard to stay positive in certain moments. This was one of those games, but there are some glimmers of hope within the 11. That is true, and we will cover who's earning it and who's not. That's what we'll do today. And of course, I can't do that without Bam. He knows who's in, he knows who's out. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. It is Thursday here in Australia, the 14th of September, and that also means that today is Are You OK Day. Conversation could change a life. So, again, I harp on this every episode, but today is Are You OK Day. So, on Thursday, reach out to someone. Don't just talk to them and fix the problems. Just listen to their problems.
Listening is essential. That is true. That is true. Thank you, Bam. Araceli, from your busy days covering MLS Next to finding time in the middle of the night to hang out with us, how are you doing?
I mean, I'm doing well, and it's only going to get busier from here on out. I'll just say we're finally nailing down the run for playoffs on our side. So it's getting to be that time of the year. But regardless, I mean, I'm ready for the weekend just to relax, blow some steam. So, hey.
Bring it. Bring the rivalry match. Let's go. Love it. All right. So let's get right after it. We don't want to spend too much time talking about the match itself, because there weren't much highlights and definitely not 3 stars to be earned on the day. But let's go for it. Let's cover the match, and then we'll get into what you guys have to say. We'll cover what we're going to say. And of course, the big reason we're here, it's the preview of the next match. Let's be real. All right. So we're calling it Wake Up for very obvious reasons. I'm going to go to you, Tony, in a few here. Let's just throw it this way. I'll stick on the positives. First positive, the supporters. Supporters went out strong. You could hear them all match doing what they do as they headed up there. I think it's 250 plus made the trip. You guys did right. The boys didn't earn it in front of you, but you definitely earned it in the stands. So applaud you. You are the highlight. I'll be real. Outside of that, these were the lineups. LAC went out with a 4-3-3 like they always do. In goal was McCarthy. Backline was Long and Murillo. Obviously, Keeling did not play due to the turf. Palencia and Palacios were your starters this time, as Hollingshead was removed from the lineup or not available at the last second due to a undisclosed injury. Sanchez, Tillman, and Acosta. The Tillman and Acosta combo were in the midfield for this one. And then we had Gonzalez up front. Couldn't tell if he was there or not. And then Vela and Bogus. In truth, it looked a little different that with Bogus doing just about everything while others weren't doing anything. But that was our lineup. Now, the other side, of course, what do you do to counter LAFC? It's kind of the standard. You play a 4-2-3-1. It's in the cards is what it's going to be. So basically in this setup, you had Bingham in goal, Mabiala and McGraw, who was the replacement center back. You had Miller and Bravo as the outside backs. Your defensive midfielders were Chara and Paredes, with Evander as the playmaker, Moreno and Chara as your outside midfielders, and Mora up top as the target man. Now, getting into the match, of course, things weren't looking so great from the start. I mean, it didn't. Yes, we were cycling the ball. Yes, we were threatening from the outside. But really, things weren't looking like anything was really going to come of it. And then things went kind of all south. So I'm going to hold it to Tony here to give you the low lights. Go for it, man.
We're going to just do it quickly because I don't even want to talk about this game. 28th minute,
Yeah.
goal by Larry's. Corner kick. McCarthy missed the goal completely. Yes, Ilie got fouled-ish, whatever, but that foul doesn't matter if Ilie does his part. I mean, McCarthy does his part and catches that ball and doesn't overdo it. And then the 53rd minute, Portland's Claudio Bravo scores, assisted by Moreno. Again, that was like a quick counterattack, and that's the game because we sucked. And substitutions, the only bright side was Ordaz was actually fighting for the ball, giving Portland some banter back quickly, and to the point where the referee was like, "Hey, calm down! Like, what are you doing?" It's like, bro, this is a rivalry, and that's it. Not talking about anymore about the game.
Ordaz brought his LAFC 2 vibe into the big team. Ursula's shaking her head because she knows what I'm talking about. Those that go know, when you watch Ordaz play at LAFC 2, he's a bit of a terror. He gets into everybody's skin. I think even his own teammates at times. It's just his vibe. As he builds confidence for the big team, you're going to see it like this. That's what he does. He's pretty brash in his approach. He wants to do what he wants to do. I dig it. I mean, again, we need guts on this team, and if someone's going to show some, I'm all for it. We need a little bit more passion, and the man has it. So good on him on that. I will say it was sad to see how starved he was of service. That was not cool. They just weren't getting in the ball, even though he was making some really smart runs on the day in the few minutes that he had out there as somebody else wasted space. He took over. So that's that. I'm gonna go to you, Bam, first on your take on this match because, yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. So the game happened. McCarthy decided to be Superman for that first goal. Just I know you're wearing red for the game. Yeah, it's just I didn't watch the game live because I was fortunately busy then. But yeah, that was horrendous.
Yeah, it was dark. It was dismal. I think that would be the short of it. I'll add more, but Tony, do you want to add any before I get crazy on this thing?
We are, I don't know what we are. We're lost. It's not even about it's not about, oh, we played against a world star studded team or anything else. It's literally, it's Portland. You know, we play in Portland. You know how the ball bounces in Portland. Again, we've only had 3 wins on the road now, which is not looking good. If we keep this pace up into playoffs, we're not going to get that many home games. And if you look on the East, yes, we are third in the standings and could take first eventually if St. Louis like messes up on a couple games, 100%. But the East, it's either the top team or you're the bottom team because we would be 7th, I believe, 7th or 8th in the East.
Yeah.
That's how much craziness is over there. So I don't know what more to say besides what I keep saying. Finishing needs to be a masterclass in the lead up. And of course, people can always say, I'm like, oh, there's no more, oh, we're tired because now we have a regular schedule. We have rest in between games. We can actually build up a game plan for whatever team we play against instead of just we go in, just practice really quickly and hopefully we get the job done, whoever next game is and what's going on. Because we have another big stage coming up and then another one in the end of the month. So if we don't right the ship here, there's going to be a lot of what the hell is going on. And here's the best part. We still have a third DP spot available that has still not yet been filled.
Yeah, and if obviously it's not going to get filled this year, and that has to raise huge questions, right? I mean, it's a big team charging what we charge for a premier side here in this league. You can't operate like you're a Midwest team. Sorry, but if you're not filling out your roster fully, then there's something wrong. If you're going to be one of the premier sides, so there's that. Now, Looking at what happened in this match, to me, the biggest issue was one, midfield was simply not providing proper service to the top line. The only guy that was really, really putting in the work and really creating things was Bogusz. So if you're going to give a star, he would be it, but we don't do that in matches like this. He featured. He's the only guy that was really earning his paycheck on the day, I got to be honest. Velo was out there making runs. The work rate was right, but it was Bogusz, and not much else creative out there. And if we go up to the top line, I mean, I'm not sure what Mario Gonzalez's plan was on the day. I still don't know what he was doing or what he was earning out there. Um, the runs were minimal. He at no time did he ever present himself simply to create contact to open a space up. He didn't sacrifice himself at all. Just there was nothing there. I got to the point where rather than just watching everybody else cycle the ball over and over and over, I just ISO'd on him because I'm like, okay, if the passes aren't happening, is it because they're just not getting service to him? Is he getting, double cut or what is going on? And at the end of the day, what was happening is he wasn't creating his own service. He wasn't creating his own space to receive a ball. He wasn't making a target uh, positive enough for someone to want to give him the ball. It just wasn't there. There were times where it looked like he was hiding behind defenders. Like I don't know what was going on, but it wasn't what we paid him to do. Sorry, but I'm going there because if you're not putting in the work rate required, I got a problem. It wasn't there. Vela was putting in the work. It's just the chances weren't coming. But yeah, it felt like we were short a man at stages where I'm just not sure at this point what we're doing here. And if this is how he's going to play, are we limiting Ordaz's development because of a player that was brought out of nowhere who has no reason to be tired, right? He wouldn't even go through the run the others did. What gives? That's where I'm at right now. What gives? And I know we were missing some players. Yeah, that's true. But we have others to step up and we had enough starters to get the job done in this game. And it just didn't happen. That's my take. That's how I feel. Tony, do you think I'm wrong in this? But dude, what's up? Oh, Tony's blacked out on this.
Oh, so you're not wrong. Sorry, apologies. You're not wrong. If you watch the game, if you want to look at a car crash or a train crash or whatever that was, the ball wasn't moving. Like it would be, here's the ball. Look around. Don't know what to do. Okay, back. Okay, back. There was no moving forward. So and it wasn't like we miss Bawanga because it's like he gets the ball and runs it down the line, and either if he doesn't have the shot, crosses it. If he does have the shot, he takes the shot. That's about it. But
he makes himself available. That's
exactly, and that's the whole thing. Is he opens up the field while like everybody else doesn't. Sorry, my father's calling. Everyone else is not doing anything. So I don't know. There's so many questions that need answered, and we don't have them at the moment, unfortunately. Hopefully we get to answer
sadly,
them. Go for it.
It doesn't seem like we have the answers, but it also doesn't seem like they have the answers at the moment either.
Yeah.
Right? You look at the big picture, and let's do this before we get to the reactions from everybody. Let's just go to the big picture. Where are the numbers at? Where are we at? So, looking at the standings right now, we are third ranked in the West. Okay. We've got 40 points. We're tied with Salt Lake. Above us are the Sounders with 41, and then St. Louis up top with 48. They're pulling away because we're fading. Let's be honest. Behind that would be the Dynamo, the Whitecaps, Minnesota United, the Earthquakes, and FC Dallas wrapping up the playoffs. The difference between making the playoffs and not, well, Dallas is sitting at 34. Austin's got 33. Timbers have 33. So he just kind of brought them back in the playoff race. Yay. Beyond that, Sporting Kansas City with 32 and the Galaxy with 30. And then Rapids are basically playing another division at this point. And that's that. Now, for us, the issue is, are we going to find our way? Now, if you look at the remaining schedule, and sorry about last week where I had that moment. It's right now. Basically, we've got the Galaxy this weekend, St. Louis City, the Union, Real Salt Lake, Minnesota United, Austin FC, and the Whitecaps. Every one of the teams left is either strong or fighting for a final playoff spot. So everyone's desperate. There's nobody where it's like, yeah, nothing's going on. Galaxy, yes, their odds of making the playoffs are slim, right? They're a 75% chance not to go, but they're still in, so they're going to fight for their lives. St. Louis is St. Louis. We kind of humbled them in our house. They got revenge on their minds. That's going to be tough. We've got the Union away. Yeah, it's those guys. And if you look at how good they are, have fun with that. Real Salt Lake at home, Minnesota United at home. Good news for us. Okay. But they're still fighting for it. And Real Salt Lake's trying to unseat us in our rank. They could by the time we play them, and we could be chasing them if we keep this up. Austin FC again playing for their lives in the Whitecaps. Probably not playing for their lives. I got to be honest, they're playing for seeding, but still, they're a playoff side. So it is not going to be easy at all. And if you look at our probabilities, our chance of getting top seed at this point because of where we've put ourselves is about 7%. Real talk. Okay. Highest percentage for us is about third or second seed, according to what I'm seeing. But if we tank, there's a 5% chance that we're watching the game from the outside, not even getting into the show if we really tank. So there's still a percentage. All right. And a strong percentage of finishing 5 or 6. Time to wake up. You want to play a home game? You better earn it for the last few games. It's that simple. So here we are. That's the reality of where we're at. Bam, looking at the standings, looking at what you're seeing right now, what are your thoughts, man?
A lot needs to change. Yes, the Galaxy have 6% chance of finishing 8th, 8% chance of finishing 9th, 75% of missing out. But that means nothing for this game. All these odds, all these stats mean absolutely nothing for this game. They show up for this game. They know how important this game is. We show up for these games in finals. This is a final. We need to show up.
Finally show up. We're losing this series. It's that simple. There's the one thing that we're racing for the playoffs when you talk about that game, which we will talk about. It's a whole different standings to me, right? There's only head to head. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter where we're at in the season. Does not matter. We're losing that series. We have to claw our way back. That's that. But I will say this. The Galaxy are turning things around too late to really save their season, but now they get to play spoiler. Okay. And yeah, they're still in, so they're going to fight to stay in, as slim as the opportunity is. But they're actually moving up and they're getting wins and they're turning things around. And we'll go deeper into that. Now, for us, for our probabilities, like I said, it's not good. It's not good. Araceli, what's your take before we head out to the supporters and see where they're at on this?
Well, first I'll say that I really did not have a chance to really watch the game itself. Similar to last week, I was doing match day coverage for Next Pro, so I had it playing in the background, but I was only able to catch little glimpses of it. But based on what I did manage to see and everything that I'm hearing right now, I'm afraid it's almost getting to that point where we do need to start sounding the alarms, because months ago we were able to blame it on fatigue potentially because of such a busy schedule, but now there's really no more excuses at this point, and it sucks to see that now the club is already going on their third straight loss when we're at the point of the season where every point matters now. You take a look at the standings, though, it's getting tighter and tighter by each week. So something needs to happen with this club. I don't know what is going on exactly, but the only silver lining that I can think of, if any, is that right after the 24th, since LAFC 2 did not qualify for the playoffs for Next Pro, LAFC will have a full team to pick from for fresh legs. No, I'm not suggesting stick the entire LAFC 2 squad in there with them, but if that's one of the issues, then maybe they need to start playing the kids a bit more and not some of our new players. Again, it may be a crazy hot take, but that's just kind of the reality right now.
Yeah, I mean, some aren't earning it. It's that simple. That's why you get into these positions. The other thought is, if this is how you're going to play, it doesn't really matter what your seeding is. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you did last year. If you come in with this kind of form and the playoffs begin, you're going to have a very long off season. So it's got to change. All right. I'm going to throw it out to see where the supporters are at on this. Guys, definitely jump in. Say what you got to say. Do not hold back. We welcome all of it. So let's go. All right. Top spot. Danielle on Hell says, I don't know if I've ever been so disappointed to be an LAC supporter. My LAC heart is broken. It's not the end of the world. But it hurts on the week. That's for sure. That's for sure. Mr. Velez says, McCarthy needs to taste the bench again. He's too comfortable making these mistakes over and over. Hope the whole team wakes up from this nightmare of a bad run. Dude, it's getting, it's there. It's there. LAC Wolf says, what's up, Black and Gold fam? I'm all ears. There is question asked, but what is the issue? Honestly, they brought in reinforcements, and the main one is not doing what we thought he would. That does hurt you if one spot in the lineup's not getting the job done. Also, McCarthy was mentioned, not getting the saves we need from him at the moment. And all around, they're not sharp. They're not finishing. Finishing has been what's killed us. That was the game before. This last one, not even creating the chances anymore. Not even getting the service in this. So it feels like we are dropping off week by week here, when we should be rising up as the playoffs present themselves. So even though we got a good rest, we got some time to breathe, they're still not there. It's still not looking right. It could be a tactical situation where people have kind of figured out what we do, what we approach, and we're not shaking things up properly. Could be that. Could be a tactical mismatch, and our side's just not seeing it and making the proper adjustments to what others are doing against us, knowing how to isolate and who to isolate, and we're not seeing it, sadly. But it's not looking good. That's what we know across the board. It ain't looking good. And they just need a good shakeup at this point. Bam, do you want to add in on that?
That's what you said, spot on. It's something going on that we need to get to the bottom of. We need to get to the bottom of quick.
Right. Could it be a locker room thing that we don't know about? Right. Something's off. Something is definitely off. Daniel on Hill says, has there ever been another player in our history besides Mario who has been given a starting spot without earning it? I mean, Horta wasn't really given a starting spot, was he?
Rodriguez.
Fito Rodriguez. Yeah, Rodriguez would be the story, I think. That would be the guy. So that's the other thing. We seem to have a curse of the third attacker. We always find two. It's the third that just yeah, something goes wrong. But he's not there yet. We know that. That's for sure. Michael Not Mike says, Guten Tag. Time for Krastev to start. I'm with you, man. Let the kids or let the hungry ones run it out. You got a hungry player, get him out there. Shake it up. Totally good with it right now. Let's get crazy with this. D Velez says, also, I think anyone in the team can send a good cross inside the box. Yeah, that would. I mean, nothing happened this last match. Really, the execution just didn't exist. Wild. Michael Not Mike says he thinks Sanchez and Acosta should start with Krastev. So there's his take. I'm not past it, that's for sure. Again, let's get wild with this. Gotta do something. LACH says Gonzalez does not look the type of player that fits our system. He looks like he needs constant service or he's ineffective. He doesn't have grit, hunger, aggression to score at all costs. He seems to me like a poacher type at the moment, but his runs don't suggest that either. But I think that's where he's at. He's more of the guy that just receives service and gets that job done. But he needs everything brought to him. And if that's the case, then you would probably need a number 10 in your lineup, right? Probably with a thicker midfield, peppering balls in from the middle rather than from the outside, or both. And we're not set up that way. So, yeah, it's two ways. He doesn't fit our system, or our system is not willing to adjust to the players that, play the way they do. We're not adjusting to our squad strength. That goes both ways there. LCS has said Bouanga and Arango took time to score, but we could see their potential and hunger 100%. They just needed time. Gonzalez, I don't feel it. Not saying it's 100% doom, but hard to see otherwise. So, yeah, I mean, Edge, you're right on Bouanga. He was in the moment. He was making the runs. There was no point where he looked frustrated or dead on a play. He would run him out, and you felt that it was just a matter of time for it broke. Kind of like Ordaz, when it took him forever to get a goal, and then he finally got one, but you knew it was just a matter of time. I mean, Gonzalez got one, and then after didn't build on it, right? And then Arango, yeah, he adjusts. They all have to adjust, but at least have to show promise. I think that's where we're concerned here. Black and Gold Soldiers, appreciate you guys in your podcast. I fall asleep listening to you guys. Dang. Sam gave us that love last time. It's your turn, Black and Gold Soldier. He says, also Mario and Aaron Long out. Yeah, Aaron Long had a rough game too, but I guess Chiellini would be back in, right? We're back on grass, so I'd expect him to be back. Down Hill says St. Louis got 4 points in their last 4 games, leaving the door open for us, but we couldn't capitalize on the opportunity. Almost like a metaphor of how games have been going. Well, yeah, we get an opportunity and big stage, get to show off what we got, and fall flat. I mean, that's been this year. We've been a year of dreams, you could say. So many trophies to win, right? So many opportunities to really break out to be that team, and we failed every test up till now. We've got another trophy to fight for coming up soon, and then the big one if we qualify. That's our last chance at 2 trophies right there, after a very long year of not doing what we thought we would. So finish strong. That's going to be our story here, and if we don't, be a whole lot more questions than answers. Tony, you want to add in on that? Your thoughts, man, before we go back into community?
Honestly, we know what we need to do. Like as Danielle said, it's like that's literally what we have to do, and it's nothing more to add. It's everybody knows what the important games is. All the big stuff that we needed to do is long and gone. Throw away a cup, throw away finals, not show up for finals. So Supporter Shield is out of the picture as well. So we only have 2 cups to play for: the Campeones Cup or whatever it's Campeones Champions Cup or whatever it is with Tigres.
Yeah, Campeones Cup.
And then the MLS Cup, and that's it. So if we don't at least pull one of the 2 silverwares, then this has been the failed season, to be honest.
I mean, it kind of has if we don't win the whole thing. There are expectations this squad has, this organization has. This was supposed to be that big year that we get into the Club World Cup and do something and get our names in lights, right? The featured club of the league. Now all you have to win. That's your only choice. Or you go over. And Campeones Cup, I'll be honest, in my head, it's a glorified exhibition match with the trophy at the end.
Question.
With
the Champions Cup, what do you get for winning it?
Pat on the back and a nice trophy. It's a made for TV cup.
Yeah. It's not like, you get a buy into the next round of League Cup or whatever it's going to be called. You don't get this, like that. It's the only thing is, looking up, only one MLS side has lost it.
Because the other team doesn't care. Except Tigres will, because they're different. That'll be a rough game. Guarantee it.
The mentality of a big club not throwing away cups that no matter what level it is, they still want to bring in silverware. What a concept.
Well, yeah, that's when you have, teams with a lot of stars and guys like Gignac and success over long periods of time, because nothing is taken for granted. Nothing, right? Especially this sacred ground. I'll leave it there. All right, let's get into community, and then we'll get into the actual rivalry match, guys. Let's go. Let's run it. So, Tony, community news, sir.
For community news, there is a big tailgate coming forward as the first Saturday. Also, check in with your, like I always say, because I will never give away trade secrets. And so check in with your local supporter group leader and figure out what's going on. It's coming up soon. As well as if you are in San Diego and can't get a ticket to the game or aren't able to make it up here, San Diego supporter group is holding their watch party at 7:30 at the tap room, like always. And of course, as always, if you can't make it, there will be watch parties at every bar partnered with LAFC. So look it up and have some fun out there. But if you're gonna, and of course, FanFest is going to be back at Christmas Tree Lane with us. So come out, have fun. If you don't want to hang out with us, the cool kids, then you can have fun over there. We're just kind of get free stuff as well.
There we go. Thank you, sir. All right, let's move it on to LAFC update. Here we are. Araceli, what have we got? What's going on? I hear good news from LAFC 2 as opposed to some other squads.
Yes, we have very good news from LAFC 2. LAFC 2 defeated Carson 2-1 in the third and final edition of El Trafichico this past weekend. They ended the season leading the series 2-1 now. Christopher Jaime, he opened the scoring in the 17th minute with an absolute rocket from outside the box. So much so that his goal was actually up for nomination for goal of the match today this week. He unfortunately did not earn that title, but just to be nominated is still a great honor for the kid. Going back to the game, Aaron Bibu, from the Galaxy, he scored the equalizer in the 23rd minute, just 6 minutes after Jaime. So it became very intense very quickly. But thankfully, going into the second half, Jeremy Bachihoa? I promise you I will spend the offseason trying to pronounce his name right. But he scored the game-winning penalty in the 52nd minute, ultimately earning LAFC 2 the final title for El Trafichico. Next up, LAFC 2 will host Portland Timbers 2 this Friday at Titan Stadium. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. I know there's a lot going on this weekend with Mexican Independence Day and just the overall match that's coming up. But if you're unable to make it, it will be streamed on Apple TV. However, I do highly encourage everyone to try to make the match, since it will be the last and final time of the season that you'll be able to see them in person. The next time would be on decision day in San Jose. So, as I've always said this whole entire season, please go out and support the boys. They always appreciate, seeing the support, especially in the stands. And moving kind of from that, as I alluded to earlier when we were going over the last match, actually 2 of the LAFC 2 kids, Suba and Davale, were called up to the first team on a short-term agreement for this past weekend's match in Portland. So they are getting recognized. They are getting the call-ups to the first team. I don't believe Suba or Davale saw any playing time, but again, just being on the bench is a big deal for these kids. And I do say kid very loosely. I'm probably just because I'm old. But in the world of MLS Next Pro, decision day is on the 24th. And since we've already gone over this, LAC 2 did not qualify for playoffs. So for them, they're basically playing the spoiler role for the next 2 weeks. So I'm very intrigued to see how they do that, especially with our playoffs already starting to take shape.
They have the chance to hurt somebody, so it's still rivalry, right? I mean, San Jose is San Jose, so do it right, boys. Make us proud. Finish strong on the season. All right. Off to the Black and Gold Vinyl Club minute. So for this one, usually we talk about some crazy foreign band because, we're playing a team that's not from Los Angeles. I decided to switch it up a bit because I heard a band that I thought was super cool, local, new to the game, pretty new to the game. That would be a band called La Lom. La Lome is a instrumental cumbia tropical band from LA. Really cool. Plays stand-up bass, the whole thing. Uh, Also, their songs are named after local things, so that was cool as well. And their latest single, two-sided single, covers a song called Angel's Point, and the other one's Figueroa. So, for very obvious reasons, Figueroa seems pretty perfect if we're gonna go for music. So check them out; they're really cool. It's La Lome. We also have an AP out, self-titled. So, yeah, good band to cover, and the music is pretty chill. I like listening to it in the car a lot, so go for it. There's also, of course, one other song or single that's coming out. Tony, I'm going to hand this one over to you because we've heard snippets of it, but now it's legit coming out. Go for it, man.
This Friday, LAFC is finally going to release the song that has been playing in the background in the beginning of every game that you have noticed with Bobby Castro, of course, produced by the one and only DJ Flick, as well as Be Real, and yeah, it's called Ciudad de Campeones. So wait for that on Friday, September 15th. They may release it early because they did that last time with the last one. So catch that one out because remember last time it was released right when we were doing the podcast. So who knows?
Yeah, right on Apple Music. So that was cool. I gotta say, it just nicely appeared there. And hey, we all got to feature Tony and I on the last promo for the Miami match, and they were using, I believe, didn't I do that song? No, yeah, maybe.
I know you're in
Uh,
it. I thought
Pretty
you were in the
sure the
pre.
capo stand's always in it. So yeah, so it was cool. It was on there. I'm looking forward to hearing the whole thing. I mean, I kind of sort of built it all together, and we kind of have, guys, but at least now you can hear it in your car and enjoy the sound. So La Lome, and then the new single coming out from LAFC. Good stuff. All right. So, message to all, of course, Blackout LA as we get into this. That is rule number one. I'll just throw that across before we even talk about the preview. Look, rivalry match, our last chance to kind of make a statement and finish their year. We have a history of finishing their seasons, finishing their tournaments. Now we have a prime opportunity to wake our butts up, get in there and do it. So step one, everybody in the stands needs to buy in. We need a blackout. Again, just like we did against Miami, we got to do it for Carson. It's got to happen. So that being said, Bam, you want to add to that, man?
This game, you go into the game, black it out. Black it out LA, we know what we do. This is how we do it. Going into the game, they are missing some players. They are obviously missing Chicharito. He's out for the season. You got Brugman out with a torn injury as well. You got Calgary out, and you got Caceres out as well. Last game for them, Neil was questionable, so I expect him to be back.
Yeah. So even though they had all these injuries, they seem to be better without these guys. I gotta be honest. So form wise, it's not the easiest thing to deal with. And I'll go over to you, Tony. How have they been doing as of late since coming back from pretty much lousy in the League's Cup?
They've been decent, which is rough for me to say. They tied against St. Louis 2-2. Tied against Houston, beat San Jose 3-2, beat Chicago Fire 3-0, and lost to Vancouver 2-1. Now, out of
yeah,
but out of all those teams, unfortunately for them, the best team on that list is St. Louis. Houston has been having a dismal season all this year. Chicago Fire is just as their names. Yeah, exactly. Chicago Fire. They're literally a fire. They're burning down the place at the moment because they're just a trash fire at the moment. And San Jose is always they always show up for rivalry games, so it was up to them to see what's going on. But San Jose has been like a mid-level team, so not the best. But then again, you go back to us, and we've been not performing where we should be performing, winning who we should win. So even with the end of the season coming and playoffs coming, there's no easy game. Even if we're playing the bottom of the league team or the top of the league team, it doesn't matter. We're beating ourselves.
Yeah. Yep. We've fallen back in the standings in terms of head to head. So that as well. And like I said, we've only got one win in our last 4, and they haven't lost any in their last 4. So, look at trends. I don't care who you play. It's about execution. They did benefit from red cards in 2 of those games. Let's be real. But they have shown up. They have shown up. Again, we talked about their playoff chances and what they're going to do. It ain't easy for them. It's next to impossible in a way. Again, there's 75% chance of finishing 10th place and out of the playoffs, 8% chance of sneaking in the last spot. But of course, those change as other results happen. And again, we have a chance of pretty much deep sixing their season. Now, who are they facing after us? It'll be Minnesota United, Austin FC, the Timbers, the Sounders, Minnesota United, and FC Dallas. And of course, you look down that line, and it's teams that are either in the playoffs or on the bubble. So the squad, their schedule is just as hard as ours, and where they're sitting at, it's honestly harder. And of those, 3 are on the road. They got Austin on the road, Sounders on the road, Minnesota United on the road. So they don't have an easy way. They need this win. We need this win. It's a perfect time for a big clash. That is for sure. We mentioned earlier the injuries and suspensions. Bam had you cover on that. Looking at players that would feature, who are you guys most worried about? I'll go to you, Tony, first. Who are you most concerned with this squad?
Yeah. For this one, of course, it's the Biaso himself, Puke.
Yeah, right.
Whatever, Puke. You always have to watch out for him because he is the center of this whole team. Like, the best way to say it is, if he gets the ball and is playing a great game, he could literally make Boyd, Fagundes, who is also another player to watch, play, out of playing European. I don't know if I can know, like, out of just crazy football, and it's unsustainable. But if we can shut Puked out and then worry about Fagundes and Boyd, because Boyd again also is another one that also hurt us, I'll be fine. Everything else is, of course. Honestly, I think we should go after Edwards if we're gonna try to get a weak spot, just to because he gets a little scrappy, and get him quick on a yellow card or a red card.
We got to watch our own selves. Bam, go for
it. With Edwards, he missed out last game due to yellow card accumulation, so he had a week off. He's not worried about yellow cards, missing games, so he's one for me we have to be wary of. Although he's a joke of a player, he's a joke of a human being. He can do some damage, which I am a bit worried about.
Yeah, I mean, if he bombs it down the line and we're not ready, yes. If we have our full lineup in the back and we have the proper players in the proper places, they can contain him. They can definitely contain him. For me, the 2 guys that I worry about the most, of course, Pooj is Pooj, right? He's going to do his thing. But honestly, it's Tyler Boyd. We make him a better player by the way we approach him in these games every time. He's got 6 goals on the season. How many are against us, guys? Yeah, it hurts, but that's life. And if you don't pick him up on the top of the box, then you're going to get buried. That's just how he operates. That's what he does. He has one move, right? He has one way of approaching you. So you have to find your way to step up on this guy. The other guy I'm worried about, of course, is Douglas Costa. And you're laughing, but Douglas Costa, the last few games, he's their top assist man. He's got 5 assists. So something's going right for him now, or it wasn't earlier. But they are getting it together. They are getting the results they need, whether they're ugly or not, whether they're beneficial from crazy calls or red cards, does not matter. They are still clawing their way at least trying to claw their way back in the playoffs and still getting results. And again, they got a point off of the top seed. You can't write that off. And they're desperate. So there goes that. Araceli, when you're watching them, I know you've had to deal with these guys. Your thoughts and concerns?
No, I 100% agree with you, especially with Tyler Boyd. And he's most dangerous at the top of the box. So if you don't clip him off right away, he's going to be a thorn in our side, essentially. But other than him, I mean, the Galaxy, I don't know if it's because of all the front office changes that club has been having lately or what is going on, but they aren't the team that we've been seeing at the beginning of the season. So you really need to watch out for them.
Yeah, legit. Now, looking at their lineup, let's talk about their system a bit and what they're going to throw our way, and it can kind of explain a little bit as to why they look a little better right now. Again, in that 2-2 game, they rolled out with a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, that system. We know that all too well. Bond is back in goal, so that's something we're not used to seeing, right? Bond is back. He's healthy. That's a big change for them. Mavinga and Yoshida were in their center backs. Yoshida is a recent acquisition, and he's proving to be worthy. So their center back pairing looks a little more stable now. Cuevas and Aud were your outside backs the last game with Cerrillo and Rosell as your holding midfielders, and Rosell has featured pretty well. Puig is Puig, Costa is Costa, and Boyd is Boyd. So those are your high line midfielders with Jovic as your target man up top. That's what they did the last game. Substitutes in that game, of course, were Billy Sharp, who came in. He's a youngster that seems to be hitting the mark for them. Marky Delgado coming in to hold things in the midfield. We know him all too well. Daniel Aguirre coming in to cover as a right back, and part of me feels like Aguirre might be the guy for us. We'll see. And then Preston Judd for Boyd. So, oh yeah, and then of course Diego Fagundes, the recent acquisition from Austin, is another story as well, and he's got a history of kind of cutting us a bit too. So there goes that. Beyond that, the game before that, we've seen him do this before to us, was a 4-1-4-1. Not the first time we dealt with this. So you got laughing over here. I see that. Do you wanna jump in there, Bam? Anyone want to add in? Go for it.
When was 37 young? Billy Sharp's 37.
Oh, I'm losing my mind again. I know. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Me being me. 4-1-4-1. I'll throw it to you. What do you think? 4-1-4-1 or 4-2-3-1?
4-2-3-1's working for them. The 4-1-4-1 was a 0-0 draw against Houston. The 4-2-3-1 was a 3-2 win for him against San Jose, and the 2-2 against St. Louis. So 4-2-3-1.
Okay. So 4-2-3-1. I mean, I remember getting hurt by these guys in a 4-1-4-1, but yeah, I'm with you on that one. Any thoughts of changes to the lineup from what we saw? Who else do you think might feature in this match?
For me, I think they're going to go with the same lineup as St. Louis, except for sort of Ayud, it would be Edwards going in.
Okay, and what about Caligari as right back? Is he available?
Caligari is not available. He's done his knee.
Okay, so it's going to be a Cuevas situation probably.
Yeah.
Okay, which might play to our benefit since we know who's going to be on that side for us. Maybe. All right. Bigger story is going to be us and who features for us in this match, and I'll go right to it. The goalkeeper situation. What are we going to do here? I know Max hasn't had really any first team time. He's featured for LAFC too. Are we going to shake it up for this game and get kind of risky with it? I mean, we've got a goalkeeper that's been costing us goals the last few games. Do we make the move? Is this the moment? Bam, are you ready? What do you got?
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right.
I'm
Tony?
Ready. Not this game. I want him.
You don't think it'll be this one?
I don't think it'll be this one. I'll be the naysayer and say McCarthy starts just because I don't see Max starting. If he does, then there's some faith in him, but I think McCarthy still has the job for just this game, just because of what's going on, especially this game.
Okay. Araceli, what do you think?
I still have my reservations about him, but looking at the last couple of matches, he hasn't really been playing for LAFC 2 as frequently as he has been over the summer, and he has traveled with the first team the last 2 trips, so I think they are starting to get him ready to put him back in the game. Is it gonna be this match? I'm very doubtful of it, but I won't be surprised if I see him on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, I am feeling the max vibe, guys. I got to be honest. It was rough last 2 games. You can't start games like that. You can't give up the first 2 soft, 2 games in a row. There has to be some consequences to it all. It's not a process thing when if it's 1 game, okay, 2 in a row, we got to take it serious here. So I'm for the change if it happens. It doesn't, and McCarthy better have a stellar night. He needs it. Yes.
The interesting thing will be, because obviously the Twos play Portland the day before, that will make a big news on whether he starts. Because if he starts that game, has a great game, I won't be surprised they try and back him up the next day. If he doesn't start, there's a chance he'll play.
We'll see if he's on that roster, then he's probably not playing the next day. I mean, I think that's pretty straightforward there. He's getting minutes. That'll answer it, which tells me they're not going to use him that game no matter what to keep the mystery. All right, back line. I think it's pretty straightforward. I would, of course, go with Long and not Long. Sorry, not saying Long. Chiellini and Murillo would be my center backs. Let's see where you guys are at. Araceli, who are your center backs for this one?
Chiellini and Murillo.
Tony?
Chiellini and Long.
Ooh, he's going with the Long. Is it the experience between the 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Bam?
Chiellini and Murillo.
Yeah, that would be the preference. Now, who do we think it's going to be? Real talk. I think Tony's going to be right. It's going to be Long, even though that's not what we're shooting for. Yeah, I know. Because, again, we have things to talk about. That's the kind of thing we're talking about right there. All right, outside back situation. I know Hollingshead was pulled. I can't help but feel that it was just precautionary, and they're just giving the guy a rest. I think my back line. I'll go to you, Tony, first. Who are your outside backs for this one?
Well, it's going to be unanimous throughout the whole one. It's going to be Hollingshead and Palacios.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be. I think we have consensus here. Good. So we do. Midfield, another challenging situation. Who's your 3 to go? I'll go with Araceli. Who's your 3?
Bam, remind me who's out for this match? Do we still have players away for international?
They all should be back.
They all should be back. Okay. Do Ilie, Acosta, and let's put Bogus back there.
Ilie, Acosta, Bogus. I like it. Bam.
That's what I'm going with. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. That is what I'm hoping for.
Tony?
Ilie, Bogus, and Tillman.
Tillman for a grinder match. Interesting. I'm going to go with the Acosta, Bogus, and Ilie combo. I love what I'm seeing from Bogus right now. Dude, he's our shining light at the moment. Acosta, just him get a chance to just body some of these fools. I'm just happy he's there. Yeah, same with our boy Ilie. Now, top line's the story. Top line's the frustrating story for us. I don't think the wings are a debate, right? I don't think we have any debate. It's going to be Bouanga, and it's going to be Vela. Who the heck else would it be? Situation is a center forward situation, and we're just going to let the money talk, or we're going to let the form talk. Who's earned it, or who's kind of paid for it in a way. Bam, you're first, man. Center forward situation. I think we know who you want, and then who do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be your mate Gonzalez.
Yeah. Should it be?
No. I'm going to. What should I do? I'm going to take a bit of a risk. And I'm going to say Oliveira.
That would be beautiful. And then maybe have the guys cycle into the middle as needed, like Vela, like Bwanga at times, and rotate things and keep it a little bit on the fly. I would like that. That would be awesome. I look to you, Tony.
Money
do you sit?
talks.
Gonzalez up top.
Mm-hmm. But if I were to pick somebody, it'd be Ordaz.
There we are. Araceli.
Realistically, it's going to be Gonzalez, but I want Ordaz. He
And
deserves
I'm
it.
in the same. I'm with you. I'm in the same camp. Ordaz, but he's not going to be. It's going to be Gonzalez. Well, you know, if you're going to earn everybody's love and trust and faith, it's the rivalry matches that fix all, right? That is your super glue as a forward, right? You want to get back into it, put it all back together, put that relationship back together, beat the rival. And then we all love you again. That's just how it works. That's football. So here we are. He's got a chance. If he does get that start, he has to do something in this game. This is the one he's got. If he doesn't do it this game, just wait for those conversations. He has to do it this game. So there we are. You heard where we're at there. I am digging that. You know, I am also digging the Bam thought here because it'll be pretty dynamic with those guys. Be a lot of fun to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can see Ordaz getting time, maybe the last 20 minutes. I can also see Maldonado getting some game time.
In the back. Yeah, I mean, he he doesn't have playtime when he was pretty much the guy we had to fall into for like 3 months there, 2 months at least, where he was our only real option. And so he kind of got punished for that in a way, even though he was completely playing on fumes for a few of those games. So yeah, I could see him getting into to grind a bit. That's for sure. And if Murillo doesn't start, Murillo's going to come in at some point as well. Same with Long. I mean, I expect some cycling back there to stay fresh. Now, yeah, that's where we're at this point. I see 21 comments from the faithful, so let's get to it. See where you guys are at here. We're going way back. We're flying here. A lot of comments from you guys. Good stuff. Anthony Bermudez. There you are. Just can't wait to see y'all on Saturday. Same to you, sir. Same to you. Bel Campos with the public service announcement to all of you. Please no green or white jerseys. You would think by this point, this many years in, we'd get it figured out, but some just don't. So now's the time. Get with it. Blackout LA. Edward Nunez is 11. He's got Palacios, Chiellini, Palencia, and Hollingshead, Acosta, Sanchez, Tillman, Vela, Oliveira, and Bwanga. So he's in the Bam camp midfield a little different, right? So there you go. He says Mario hasn't been doing much, right? Miguel Campos, LOL, puke. Did I say puke last time? I don't know. I know Tony did this time though, so it's beautiful. Hopefully that sticks. I agree. He is a little puke, but whatevs. D Velez says puke and the new edition Billy Sharp. There we go. Jonah B, good evening, everyone. Hey Bam, you want to say that one? He's staying away. So Michael, not Mike, said 50 to Carson. So there you go. If you know what it means, you know what it means. Mr. Tillman knows what it means. LC Edge says, I think we try Oveda as striker as soon as possible to get him going for playoffs. I know we should give Mario a chance, but we're too close to playoffs to bet on a riskier choice. Oveda is fast, gritty, and hungry. You seen it here, folks. Edge and Bam are agreeing on something. Check that one out. That is awesome. So there we go. Daniel Angel says, for us, I'm missing Fall in this game. For them, I think we look for Billy Sharp. Yeah, again, he's third scorer already in a short time with them. So yeah, you know. Oh, Michael's not done yet. So get your Rosetta Stone out and have fun with this one. He says, Scheiß auf der Galaxy. That's all you gotta know. I love it, Michael. Good stuff. LC Edge, want to see Max, but not this game. Next one, too risky. McCarthy still in form. Let's hope he overperforms. So there you go. Going with the comfort of McCarthy since he's been there all year. D Vela says Max will have his comeback game against Tigres. You're probably right, guys. The fan in me. Michael Not Mike says start Max at least to motivate and inspire the team. So there's a Max vote. Here's an interesting one. D Velas thinks that Sergey and Palacios will get the start, so Hollingshead not being ready yet is the thought there. There's a chance Miguel Campos is in the Oviedo over Mario Camp as well. But he's going for the Nate vote. I mean, if you're going for loyalty and work rate and earning your time for time served, yeah, we already has, right? But yeah, Oviedo has been putting in good work too, real good work. We've got Daniel who says, I'm with Bam with Olvera right wing and Vela star in the middle. Yeah, good target, man. That's for sure. Somebody who will actually run and present himself and move out of position when he needs to open up some lanes. There's a thought. Thinking beyond yourself. Then D Velez says, just borrow Mukhtar from Nashville and we should be good. Yeah, third DP. Could you imagine? Just a thought. Maybe next year, guys. Maybe next year. So there we go. Thank you guys for all the comments. Love it. Keep it up. You guys are always amazing. You're the reason why we're here. Say it again and again and again. All right. So we've seen our preview. You saw where we're at the end of the day. If you can be there, be there. Fill this thing up. Get there early, get ready. Tailgate's going to be huge. Everything in stadium's going to be awesome. We're ready for this thing. Let's just hope our squad is as well. And I'm not holding back. And I know, Tony, you can be holding back for this one. Anything left at the end of this thing?
No.
Nope. If your voice ain't cracked, it ain't right. It ain't right. I know Bam's gonna be going crazy from where he's at, and Araceli as well, as she's probably gonna be working and watching at the same time because life is wild. You do your best. I know you will. All right. So it brings it to an end. Here we are. We are closing things out. We begin with a thank you to all you guys, and we'll give our final thoughts. So, Araceli, final thoughts.
My final thoughts are simple. As always, we have another home game, so please do not be stupid. Look out for each other. Make your own good judgments. Drink responsibly. Make sure you have a ride to and from the stadium. It's just going to be pure chaos. We already know how these games go. So just please keep your wits about you. Protect one another. And overall, have fun. Regardless of what LC do this weekend. Again, I cannot emphasize the LAFC 2 game on Friday enough. If you decide to go to that, please enjoy, give the boys the support they deserve, and really just have a really fun week, a fun and safe weekend.
There we are. Thank you, Araceli. Bam. Your turn, sir.
Again, as I always harp on about, mental health is major. We all do need it from time to time. If you do need help and you can't contact one of your friends, and you need an LA area, call 800-854-7771 or text 741-741. They'll get you in contact with some mental health support, crisis counselors, all that kind of stuff. Please reach out if you do need it. That's the main thing going into this weekend. Yes, there's a game, but with today being Are You Okay Day, please reach out. Even if it's not for you, reach out for your friends. A conversation can change your life and it can save a life.
Thank you, sir. He is absolutely correct. Be there. Be there for those around you. Communication, again, is key. Show the love, that's for sure, and the open ear. Tony, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is, of course, Blackout LA. And what we mean by that is the jersey that Joseph's wearing, season 1 jersey, or the past jersey, anything black. Again, I don't want to see any green, other colors, stuff like that. Also, no other club jerseys outside the 32-52 is fine, but please, in the 32-52, no. International jerseys as well. That's a no-go. But also, be mindful. We are, however, going full 90, and again, that's what we do. We support this club through the good, through the bad, and we have to do that as well. So there have been a lot of bad parts, and a lot of things that they've given us good and bad. So let's go full 90. Let's make sure we do what we need to do, as well as, of course, drink responsibility. Words are hard right now, so just drink responsible. Don't overdrink.
Responsibly, right?
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah.
Words are hard. Just make sure you drink a lot of water. It's gonna. I know the tailgates are fun, but when you can't go full 90 and you fall and hurt yourself, that soreness does hurt the next day. And it's not just from like, oh, I just need some tea or some honey to soften my throat. It's, ow, I need an ice pack. Ow, I might need to check this out. So besides that, let's have fun. Let's go full 90 and show every time we go this. Yes, Bam?
Before we go on, also, guys, for yesterday, happy birthday, Joseph.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I know. Disneyland and all. Drinking the blue water like everybody else in LA the last few days. So that too. So it's good times. Good times. If you know, right? But yeah, thank you guys for that. Like I said, I'll start counting when they give me a discount, and then I'll count my age. But until I get a discount, I'm just one of those guys. Yeah. There we go. All right. So I guess it's my turn, isn't it, Bam? Here we go. All right. So number one, thank you. Thank all of you for always being there in the high and the lows. And right now we're in a bit of a lull, you could say, but it's nice to have a lull and a star on your chest at the same time. It does help a little bit to soften it, but that star presents expectations, and that's what we need them to meet. Simple as that. For the rest of you, the supporters, this is our biggest game of the year so far. Things have passed. They haven't gone the best, but it's always nice to get back in stride when you play your rival and you take them down. And you can take them down as hard as you possibly can this year, and you can end their chances at the postseason. Maybe not mathematically, but let's be honest. They're going to be licking their wounds, and it won't be a good way back because it's already slim at this point. How's that going to happen? One, our team's got to step up, but we need all of you guys to step up as well. All of you. If you're in that stadium and you're not singing and you're not making noise, don't be the guy at the end of this thing asking yourself, did I do enough for my squad? Don't be that person. Be the one like us. We'll be like, oh man, I need a drink or something because I am hurting. That's how it's got to be. This is that game. This is the one where you give everything you've got. Because again, you're not only defending your team, not only defending your own honor, you're defending the city. This is our town. It's been our town. We play here. They don't. Let's defend it as we're supposed to defend it and get the job done. Simple as that. I'll leave it right there. Final word, Araceli.
Stay golden.
Bam.
Stay golden.
Tony.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.